Acha, I have not shared my screen, I think. Just a second. Uh, Visible my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So as I told you, few standard curves I will give you. Look, by just looking at the equation itself, you can tell me what kind of graph you are going to get without actually doing the whole procedure of curve tracing. Okay. So in this we have circles, we have, then we have so-called rose curves. These are few standard ones. There are so many, but few of them I'm explaining the techniques to draw this one without actually doing much of the theory part. Then you have lemon scales. All this we will have. Okay. So rose curves equation will be something like this. R is equal to a sine theta, or it can be R is equal to a cos theta. Okay. Rose curves are something like R is equal to a into sine n theta, or it can be a into cos n theta. Okay. Lemacons are like R is equal to a plus or minus b sine theta, or it can be equal to a plus or minus b cos theta. And Leibniz skates will be like R square is equal to a square sine 2 theta, or it can be a square cos 2 theta. Okay, so these are few standard curves which I'm going to explain. Circles equations will be like either, see, all these four equations, I have written both in terms of sine or cos. So circle can be in terms of cos or as well as sine. So circle equation in polar coordinates. In Cartesian coordinates, you already know, is it or not? If I write x square plus y square is equal to a square, you can tell me center is 0 0, radius is a. Similarly, if I give you this circle in polar coordinates, you should know what is the center and its radius. Okay, then only you can draw them. Okay, just knowing that this is the equation of circle won't be enough. You should able to draw them also. So based on this equation itself, you should able to tell me what should be the radius as well as the center. Okay, so circle's equation is R is equal to a sine theta or a cos theta. Rose curves will be like R is equal to a into sine n theta or a into cos n theta. Lemacons will be like R is equal to a plus or minus b sine theta or a plus or minus b cos theta. Leibniz skates will be like R square is equal to a square sine 2 theta, or it can be a square cos 2 theta. Okay, so let us see how we will draw this ones. Okay, suppose the first one I'm explaining the curves, circles. Okay, so both I'll consider here. Suppose you have R is equal to a sine theta, okay, or R is equal to a cos theta. Remember, I already in the previous classes always said that whenever you have cos term, the major portion of the graph will be on x-axis. Whenever you will have sine term, the major portion of the graph will be on y-axis. Okay, but on positive y-axis or negative y-axis, that will depend on a here. Okay, so this, according to this one, the graph will be on y-axis. Okay, and this will be on x-axis. Now positive negative is determined. If a is positive, then the graph will be on positive y-axis. Okay, similarly here also a positive means positive x-axis. Okay, same if a is negative, then the circle will be on negative y-axis. Are you able to follow? This is very, this I tried just to give in very short without going much depth into the topic called curve tracing. Actually, for your seniors, uh, maybe last before 2 years, you had this unit also, curve tracing, where we were drawing all kinds of curves in Cartesian, polar, everything. But right now you don't have, so I'm not going much depth into that topic. Just I'm giving an overview of that how a curve looks, so that you can have an imagination, you can draw that simple curve by yourself, okay, without going much depth into the theory. Similarly, if a is negative, the curve will be on negative x-axis. Okay, remember, if you have cos, even for all of this, all four I have mentioned, four different curves I have mentioned, whenever you have sine, the maximum portion, major portion will be on y-axis. Whenever you have cos term, the portion will be on, maximum portion will be on x-axis. Now here I'm talking about the circles now. Okay, so circles I have taken, it can be a sine theta, it can be a cos theta. Sine theta means the circle will be on y axis, cos theta means on x axis. Now depending upon this a value, you will decide whether to draw that circle on negative axis or positive axis. So if a is positive, it will be on positive y axis, and on the other side, if you have cos term and if a is positive, then the circle will be on x-axis. Similarly, if a is negative, it will be on negative axis. Okay, understood? Now this a determines the diameter actually. Okay, a determines the diameter. A is nothing but the diameter. Now, so you have an idea. That means, suppose if a is positive, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and suppose I take this itself, a r is equal to a sine theta. So when I say r is equal to a sine theta and I consider this a as positive, so the circle will be something like this. Circle will be something like this. Okay, a positive, you have sine theta, so circle will be on positive. Suppose if I consider a positive and a, you have cos theta, so this is x-axis, this is y-axis, so the circle will be on x-axis. Similarly, if a is negative, the circle will be on negative y-axis, and if a is negative, the circle will be on negative y-axis. Now how to find though I said a is diameter and all, but how to find the center and all? Okay, so suppose you, let us take an example here. R is equal to 4 sine theta anukunnam. Okay, so if I choose r is equal to 4 sine theta, let me calculate the center and radius here. For that, what we can do is, I'll multiply r both the sides. Okay, what I'll do, if this is in Cartesian coordinates, it would be easy for me to tell what is the radius and the center. Is it or not? So I'm going to convert this into Cartesian coordinates. So for that, I have multiplied r on both sides. Now this I can write it as r square, and this will be 4r sine theta. Now I'll replace this with Cartesian coordinates. What is r square in Cartesian coordinates? It is x square plus y square. Avuna?
Yes, ma'am.
And 4 as it is, what is r sine theta in Cartesian coordinates? It is y. So overall, this is x square plus y square minus 4y is equal to 0. So again, I rewrite it x square to get the center and radius. What I'll do, minus 4y plus 4 is equal to 4. Can I write?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so from here I can write it as x square plus y minus 2 whole square is equal to 4, which is 2 square. Okay, so now tell me, this is the equation of circle which I have obtained from this one itself. So what is the center here? Center is
0,
0, 2.
0, 2. So when I say 0, 2, x value is 0 means overall the circle is on which axis? Y axis itself, na?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the radius here?
2
2.
units.
So the equation of circle will be something like this. So this is x axis, this is y axis. Center is 0, 2. Suppose somewhere here you have 0, 2. Okay, that is the center. Radius is 2. So something like this you are going to get. Understood now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you draw it properly. So this is an example of a circle. Similarly, if I write r is equal to same question with a minus 4 sine theta. If I write something like this, what I'm going to get? It's the same thing, is it or not? But what will change here? Here
Center.
instead of minus,
The
you will have
negative
a
X.
plus sign here. Okay. Are you able to see x square plus y square plus 4y I will have here? Is it or not? So again sine theta on y axis you will get, since because of minus sign, on negative y axis you will get the circle. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is how we had solved few examples now where the curves were given as circles. R is equal to 2 sine theta, R is equal to 4 sine theta, something like that it was given. Okay. Understood?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Same you can do with cos things also. So this is about circle. Now let us go to this lemma-cons, which is like R is equal to A plus or minus B sine theta, or it can be R is equal to, or it can be R is equal to A plus or minus B cos theta. So again, sine theta means on y-axis you will have, cos theta means on x-axis, major portion. I'm not saying that nothing will fall on the other axis. It is not like that. But major portion of the curve will lie on y-axis if you have sine term, and major portion of the curve will lie on x-axis if you have cos term. Okay. Now in between you have plus and minus sign. So if you have R is equal to A plus B sine theta, or R is equal to A plus B cos theta. In between I have written both plus and minus sign. Is it or not? So it can have a minus or a plus. So if I have plus sign here, so this will be on positive y-axis. And this will be on positive, you tell me?
X-axis.
X-axis. Similarly, if I take R is equal to A minus B sine theta, then it will be on
Negative Y.
negative y-axis, major portion. Major, there will be something on x-axis also, but major portion will be on y-axis. Similarly, it can have R is equal to A minus B cos theta. That means it will be minus negative x-axis. Understood? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This much part you have understood, that major portion lie on which axis based on sine and cos. Sine means y, cos means x. If you have plus in between them, then positive axis, otherwise negative axis. Now this ratio of A by B will decide what kind of graph, what kind of shape you are going to get. Okay. So here, so this cos and sine determines x or y axis. Now this ratio you will calculate, ratio A by B. Okay, so this ratio determines shape of the curve. Okay, so let's see how it determines. Okay, so the ratio value I'm writing here, ratio, and here don't consider minus B. A and B both are positive quantities here. Okay. So if you calculate A by B, and if the value is negative, then the shape will be with an inner loop. We'll see how it looks. Okay. Then you have A by B is equal to 1. That is also possible, na? Then in that case, you will have a cardioid. And this example we have done, if I'm not wrong, with cardioid. Okay. Then A by B can lie between 1 and 2. Greater than 1, less than 2. In that case, you will have a shape called dimple. So diagram what I'm going to draw is for y is equal to some function in terms of sine. Okay, sine function I'll take. A plus B sine theta I have taken. Okay, inner loop means something like this you will get. This is your y-axis, this is your x-axis. So you will have something like this, you get. Okay, now I have considered plus sign here. So maximum portion will be on positive y-axis. Y-axis because of sine function. Plus is there, therefore I will have on y-axis, positive y-axis. Instead of plus sign, if I had written minus, then I will get the same graph in the opposite direction of y-axis. Understood? On negative y-axis I will get. Got it, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now again, if a by b value is 1, I said I'll get a cardioid. Cardioid, we have drawn, I think we have taken the examples while solving the problems in terms of cos. So in terms of cos means you will get on x-axis. But here I have considered this example, that is a plus b sine theta. So I will have a cardioid something like this. Understood? So major portion on y-axis because of sine function, and because of plus in between a and b, you got it on positive y-axis. Got it? Now this ratio, if a by b is strictly lying between 1 and 2, okay, greater than 1 but less than 2, then dimple, the graph will be, again I have taken a plus b sine theta itself. So the graph will be something like this, x-axis, y-axis, it will be okay. You don't have a sharp edge here, it is just a smooth one, something like this you will have. Okay, then the last one I left out, when the ratio a by b is greater than or equal to 2, then the shape will be convex, and it is just something like this, x-axis, y-axis. Something like this you will have. Understood, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here what we have learned for this kind of equations, sine decides y-axis, cos decides x-axis, plus sign decides positive axis, minus sign decides negative axis, depending upon sine and cos. Now this ratio a by b decides the shape of the curve, how it looks like. If a by b is less than 1, then something like this you are going to get, inner loop you will have. If a by b is equal to 1, you will get a cardioid. If a by b is lying between 1 and 2, you will get a dimple. If a by b is greater than equal to 2, it is a convex, something. And a shape idea you have got. Now, to what extent you will draw this one? That is also important. Is it or not? That means I have extended this on y-axis till here and on x-axis till here. Then you had an inner loop till here. How you will decide these points? How you will decide? Here also you have here these points, how you are going to decide. Are you able to observe what I'm doing here? I'm just putting a dark line on the intersection points actually, or you can say how far it stretches on x-axis and y-axis, the curve. Got it? So that will be decided by this a and b values itself. Okay, so a plus b decides height. That means height of what? How far it stretches on main axis. Main axis means the major portion of the curve. So I can say this major portion na? So this is the how far the graph extends means, or here it extends up to a plus b. So from origin you calculate a plus b. This is the height of the curve, how far it stretches on main axis. Okay, similarly a will decide how far it stretches on opposite axis. Opposite axis means here this points on x-axis. It can be other way also. I have taken an example of sine. So what are these points? These points are a. This is a. This is a. 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 Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now this A minus B gives the lower point. Lower point. This value it will give. Okay. Now in this case, in case of cardioid, I said A by B value is 1. That means when it will be 1? When both are same. So what will be A minus B value? Tell me. In case
0.
of 0. So 0. Understood all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So hope this is clear. If you want to note down, I don't have any particular notes to share with this to you people. So if you want to note down this thing, you note it down. Written? Are you writing along with me? Or should I wait? Just to have an idea about what kind of graph you are going to get. Suppose, for example, you take r is equal to 1 minus 2 sine theta. Okay. Now, looking at the graph itself, you can tell me sine theta means on y-axis you will have. Because of a negative sign here, the graph, major portion of the graph will be on negative y-axis. Okay, na? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now here a value is 1. So, and b value is 2. So you calculate the ratio a by b, which will be 1 by 2. And this value is less than 1. Since it is less than 1, you are going to have a graph something like this. An inner loop you are going to have. But on negative y-axis you will have. Now let us calculate height and all. So let us calculate a plus b. A plus is 1 plus 2, which is 3. So that is the height on negative y-axis of the curve. Okay. Now since a is equal to 1, a is equal to 1. So it stretches about 1 on opposite side, opposite axis. That is on x-axis, it stretches up to 1. Now again you have a minus b. A minus b. So a minus b is 1 minus 2, which is minus 1. Okay, so that is the point of that is the inner point you will get. So graph will be something like this. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. So a plus b, so you have 1. So suppose this is 1 minus 1 anukunnam. Then this is also a minus 1. Okay, then you have 3. So suppose 3 idi anukunnam. Okay, and on negative y-axis the graph is, so here you will have, okay, 3. Here 3 doesn't means on positive axis you will consider. That is just the height we are talking about, to what extent it will. So minus 1, this is minus 2, so this is minus 3. Okay, so you will have an inner loop. To this extent. Okay, you draw it properly. Something like this you are going to get a curve. Understood all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is how you draw the Lamne's skits. It can be any other. This is with inner loop. You can have the cardioid and all those things you will have. Okay, na? Is it clear? This limacons, not Lamne's skits. Limacons. Limacons means you will have cardioid, you will have a dimple shape, you will have a convex shape, you will have an inner loop also. Got it, all of you? So this you have done without much of that theory you have done. Okay? Got it?
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
let's see the Rose curves. What are Rose curves? So Rose curves are something like r is equal to a sine n theta, or it can be r is equal to a cos n theta. Now for this one, you don't decide any axis here, because here you are going to have some petals. some flower kind of shape you are going to get here. So we can't decide based on sine and cos whether on x-axis or y-axis you will get here. So here what you have to do is you need to check A value. Okay, so what does A indicates? A indicate the length of, we'll see the graph, length of each petal. That is what A indicates. Okay, that is the first point. Second point, N indicates the number of petals. That means if N is odd, you will have exactly N petals. And if N is even, you will have exactly 2N petals. Okay, and if I'm saying something like flower means, I'm going to get something like this. I am not able to draw here. Something like this I'm going to get. Okay, this is just an example I have drawn. Okay, this is y-axis, this is x-axis. So here how I'm going to decide that how many petals I'm going to get and what will be the length of each petal. That means this petal I have drawn, to what extent I will draw this, that will be indicated by A. Now N indicates the number of petals. Here I have drawn 4 petals. If I have drawn 4 petals, what should be my N? Tell me.
2.
2. Okay, if N is even, then I will have 2N petals. So obviously, if I have drawn 4 petals, I would have N is equal to 2. Since 2 is even number, so I will get 2 times of 2 into 2, that is 4 petals I will get. If I have 3 petals, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, somewhere here I'll draw, somewhere here I will draw, somewhere here. Suppose for example, that means 3 petals means exactly N will be equal to how much?
3.
3 itself. So hope you understood. So something like this kind of graph you are going to get. Now the question is to find where the first petal starts. I have drawn randomly these things, but where I should start drawing my first petal, and then to draw the next petal, I need to rotate. To what extent I should rotate my petals? This is the 2 important things. Okay, first important thing, length of the petal. Second, how many petals you will get, that will be based on your N value. N is odd means exactly N petals. N is even means exactly 2N petals you will get. Now the next thing is to find where my first petal starts. So for this, to check at what angle your first petal start, you put R is equal to A and solve for theta. Okay, what are the equations here? Tell me. It is R is equal to A sine n theta or R is equal to A cos n theta. So let me take an example of R is equal to A sine n theta itself. Now to check at which angle my first petal start, how I need to do? I need to substitute R is equal to A. So R is equal to A sine theta. So this means I'm going to get 1 is equal to sine n theta. That means n theta will be equal to pi by 2 minimum. So theta will be equal to pi by 2n. So we can use this formula to find that at which angle does the first petal starts. Understood? But this is for
Yes, ma'am.
this I have got when I have taken sine function. This will change if I take the cos function. Remember that. Okay, na? So instead of remembering the formula, what in both the cases, what you can do is you just solve by substituting R is equal to A in the given equation. From there, you will get some theta value, and at that theta itself, your first petal starts. So once you draw the first petal, you need to get the remaining petals also. To what extent you will rotate and get the next petal, that will be calculated in this manner. Next point. So rotation of petals I mean the remaining petals you will draw with a difference by calculating this one 360 by number of petals. Here in the denominator I have not written n. Remember this, I have written number of petals. So if n is odd you will get n, but if n is even you will get 2n in the denominator. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so these 4 points are enough to draw our graph related to this question. R is equal to a sine n theta, or R is equal to a cos n theta. Let us see one example here. R is equal to 4 sine 2 theta. So here a is how much? 4. R is how much? Sorry, n. N is how much?
2.
2. So that is the first point you have written. So A is equal to 4 is the length of each petal. Now number of petals. Here number of petals will be
4.
4.
4.
okay. Number of petals will be 2n, which is equal to 4. So 4 petals you are going to get. Now you need to find at which angle, which point, which line your first petal will be. For that, what you do? You put R is equal to A in the given equation. R is equal to A means 4 you need to substitute. So that will be 4 is equal to 4 sine 2 theta. So this implies sine 2 theta is equal to 1. This implies 2 theta is equal to pi by 2. This implies theta is equal to pi by 4. Okay. So at pi by 4, I'm going to have my first petal. Pi by 4 means this. At this angle, I'm going to have my first petal. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, so the first petal I have drawn, suppose. Now I need to get total 4 petals. First petal will be at theta is equal to pi by 4. Now remaining 3 petals also I need to draw. So remaining 3 petals, how I will draw? By calculating the rotation of the petals. So 4-point rotation. That will be 360 by number of petals. And how many petals you have here? 4 petals you have here. What this means? How much? 90 degree. So that's how far we rotate the petals. Understood, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let us draw this one. Actually, curve tracing is very interesting topic, but they have removed from your syllabus. So first petal on this one. Okay, so this is my first petal, and this length is 4 actually. Okay, so that is at 45 I have drawn. Next will be at you rotate this angle to 90 degree. So at which line I'll get this next petal? Tell me. If I
130,
rotate it to 90 degree, then
135 degrees.
this is the next petal. Then again you rotate it to 90 degree. Somewhere here. Then again you rotate it to 90 degree. You draw it properly. Somewhere here you are going to get. So this will be the graph. You draw it properly. This is not a good diagram, of course. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So from here, from this is, okay, this much is 45 and this much is again 45. So here on this line, you will have the next petal. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose you have this question, R is equal to 6 cos 3 theta. So what is A value here?
6.
And what is N value here?
3.
3. So N is odd here. So therefore, how many petals will be there? Number
Three.
of petals will be 3. So that will be 3. Okay. Now let's see the first petal where it stands. So you need to substitute, put r is equal to a, that is 6 in equation. So you will get 6 is equal to 6 cos 3 theta. That means cos 3 theta is equal to 1. This implies 3 theta is equal to 0. This implies theta is equal to 0 itself. That means on the initial line, or you can say at or 2 pi, you will have your first petal. Okay, now rotation also we need to calculate. Next term, rotation of petals. So that will be 360 by number of petals. How many petals you have here?
3.
3 petals.
3.
So to what extent after first petal you will rotate it to 120 degree and draw your next petal. Okay, na? Understood all of you?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So the graph will be something like this. X axis, y axis. So your first petal will be here and length is 6. Okay. Then next petal you draw it properly. Okay, this is not a good one. Then you rotate it to 120 degrees. So somewhere here you are going to have. Okay. Then again you rotate 120 plus 120 will be 240. So somewhere here you are going to have. This will be the required graph. You draw it properly. This is not a good diagram. All petals will be of same length, so it should be look same only. I have drawn the third one a little bigger, but it should not be like that. Understood? Got it, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now next one is one more left out, the basic one, which is called as lemniscates. So it is something like r square is equal to a square sine 2 theta. Here you will have only 2 theta, not n theta. Okay, it should be only 2 theta. Or it can be r square is equal to a square cos 2 theta. Okay. So this one I'll draw. R square is equal to a square sine 2 theta will be something like this. Directly I'm drawing nothing much to discuss here. Okay. On this axis. It will be something like this. And this length, you draw it properly. This is a. This is for r square is equal to a square sine 2 theta. Okay, it will fall on the line y is equal to x, or you can say theta is equal to pi by 4. Okay, and for r square is equal to a square cos 2 theta, x axis, y axis. So it will be something like this. So this length is nothing but a. Understood, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's it. A value we will, a square is given. Suppose 9 I write, then this is 3. Okay, na? So these are few basic curves I can discuss about, without going much depth into actually the curve tracing. Hope you understood the curve tracing in polar coordinates. These few basic ones. Any doubts here? No doubts? Don't worry, you won't get any questions, problems related to curve tracing. Only thing is, even in multiple integrals also you have curves. I mean, you need to solve this double integrals in polar coordinates. So when you have such things, you should know, you should have an idea about the curve tracing. Not only polar coordinates, even in Cartesian coordinates also you should able to draw the curves. You will always not get the parabolas or straight line. You may get something else also. There also you should able to decide the region of integration. Okay. Is it clear? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So triple integration we have done. Yeah, we solved few problems. Did we related to triple integrals?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we will have applications related to this double integrals and triple integrals. In double integrals, you need to calculate area enclosed by a plane curve by using double integral, and you need to find volume bounded by the curves for the given graph. Okay, by using double integral itself. So if you want to find the area enclosed by a plane curve, okay, suppose you have these two curves, f of x, y is equal to f of x, y is equal to g of x. The coordinates x is equal to a, x is equal to b in xy plane. Then that means if I draw this roughly, okay, suppose I have x is equal to a, this is x is equal to b, and two curves let me take. So this is my some curve y is equal to gx. This is my curve y is equal to f of x. Okay, this point is a, this point is b. So this part I need to calculate. But here, remember, they will ask you to find the area enclosed by some curves. Okay, so how you will calculate the area? The area of the region R bounded by these curves will be given by integral over this region R dx dy, or it can be double integral over the region R dy dx. Understood, all of you?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so
Yes,
as you
ma'am.
can see, you have solved the same thing in well in the starting double integrals. But in double integrals, you have solved the problems where you have the double integral with some limits, or maybe the limits are not given. You can find them dx dy or dy dx without any function here. You don't have any function here. F of xy is nothing but 1. Is it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
all the problems where you have solved this thing, double integral over some region dx dy, or the double integral over some region dy dx, this result is nothing but area. Okay, now without any function there, function is 1 there. So the result what you have obtained by solving such problems is nothing but that is the area enclosed by these curves within the ordinates x is equal to a and b. Okay, and same in the polar coordinates. In polar coordinates, area will be given by double integral over the region R. You have dx dy. In polar coordinates, it will be r dr d theta. Is it or not? Understood?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now onwards, if they want you to find area enclosed by some curves, they will give. So first you need to draw the curves, find the limits and everything. But what you will integrate? You will integrate this thing only. Oh, that region you will divide. Find the limit dx dy, or you can write dy dx. Accordingly, you substitute the limits. If you are choosing dx dy, that means x will be some function of y, and y limits will be constant. Okay, and if you are choosing the other one order dy dx order, then y limits will be some function of x, and x limits will be some constants. Understood? So this is how you
Yes,
find the area by using double integrals. Okay. Suppose for example, you have a question, find the area enclosed by the parabolas. It's given parabolas already. X square is equal to y and y square is equal to x. So what you need to calculate is you need to find the required area, that is, okay, let me write like this. Required area is given by double integral over the given region R. Either you write dx dy, dy dx, it's your wish. Okay, so this is what we need to calculate. So to calculate this one, first we need to draw this curve. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. Now what curves you have? X square is equal to y. It's a parabola on which axis? On y-axis. So it's a parabola on y-axis. So x square is equal to y. Now y square is equal to x. That is a parabola on x-axis. Okay. So the next one, this curve is y is equal to x. Sorry, this is x square is equal to x. Y square is equal to x. So what is the region of integration here? This is the region of integration. Is it or not? Now whichever strip you like, you can take it and solve the problem. Which strip you want me to take? Which order you want me to take? Dx dy. So if you want to take dx dy, you draw the strip. Wherever you draw the strip, the region is not being divided into any subregions. Is it? So it's the same problem. Now the limits of this double integral dx dy will intersection point. This is 0, 0. What is this intersection point? Tell me. 1, 1. Okay. So y limits I will
1,
keep
1.
it constant. So y limits 0 to 1, and x limits from this curve.
0 to 1.
This curve. What is this curve? Y square is equal to x. So x is from y square to the other curve, which is x is equal to root over of y. Positive root you will take because it falls, the region falls in the positive quadrant itself. Okay, so first you will integrate with respect to x and then with respect to y. So 0 to 1 as it is, you integrate, you will get x only, limits is y square to root y dy. So when you solve it, you will get upper limit is root y to the power half minus y square you will get. And this whole thing you need to integrate with respect to y. So this will be y to the power 3 by 2 by 3 by 2. So I'll write 2 by 3 here. Minus y cube by 3. Limits 0 to 1. A lower limit, both the terms will be 0. Upper limit you will get 2 by 3. 2 by 3 minus 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 you will get, and square units you can write here. Understood all of you? So calculating area is very easy because you know how to draw the curves. This all part, calculating limits, everything will be same. Only thing is whenever it is mentioned area, you have to evaluate this thing, double integral dx dy without any function, or it can be dy dx also. Got it? Okay. So note
Yes,
down
ma'am.
few problems and include them.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just giving the curves here using double integrals heading. Okay, let me put the heading here. Double integrals, integration, find the area enclosed by the curves y is equal to 2 minus x and y square is equal to 2 into 2 minus x. This is the first question. Second question, curves are y square is equal to 4ax, x plus y is equal to 3a, and y is equal to 0. Find the area of the cardioid. R is equal to a into 1 minus cos theta. Find the area which is inside the cardioid. R is equal to a into 1 plus cos theta, and outside the circle R is equal to a. Okay. Find the area which is inside the circle R is equal to a sine theta, and outside the cardioid R is equal to a into 1 minus cos theta. So will you able to solve these problems? This graph
Yes,
just
ma'am.
now we have discussed. You can draw circles, you can draw
Yes, ma'am.
your cardioids and find the region. In the last question, it is inside the circle, outside the cardioid. That will be the region. Whereas in previous question, it is inside the cardioid, outside the circle. So be careful while drawing the graphs here. Okay. In the fourth question, the cardioid will be on which axis? Tell me. Maximum portion on
X-axis.
x-axis, but on negative or
X-axis.
positive?
Positive.
Positive. And in the last question, the same graph will be on negative x-axis.
Negative X.
Okay, na? So try them. If you won't able to solve, we will solve them in the next class. Okay. So that's it for today. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, I'll stop here. No doubts? Okay, let me take the attendance then.